Up until the 75th minute, you were still leading 1-0, away from home, one man down. What were you being expansive for? Is there a trophy for going toe-to-toe? If you are experienced enough and knowing how EPL is, what you should be doing is playing on a counter, parking the bus, and trying to see that result out. But what did Maresca do? He still tried to play like there were 11 men on the pitch. So Chelsea fans, let me know what you think.
Watch Strength TV right now.
Chelsea won, Brighton 3. Dan Welbeck does business, 15 minutes. And I remember very well, it was like banter between me and Chelsea fans. Man, like if you know about that Chelsea won a preseason trophy and they're calling it a trophy. It looked like banter, but I really meant what I was saying, because I don't know any Chelsea fan today that would tell me that at the end of last season, and with the business they did this summer, before the club World Cup, that they felt that their team was ready to compete in EPL. I don't know. And if you did, then you need to be checked as a fan. I never believed that team was ready, and I was saying it. First of all, when Chelsea went and signed Delap and Pedro, when Osimhen and some other big strikers were available, that's when I knew that they were not serious. Then Jackson was pushed down the pecking order. I said, wow, I don't have argued with Chelsea fans or debated with them that Jackson is way better than they think he is. I knew that club was not serious. So coming from the ownership perspective, they did not prepare the squad. The players were sold for profit, not to balance or make the team itself better. And it looks like Maresca's hands are tied. He doesn't really have a say. Of course, as a manager, he comes and he's the one that's going to speak to the press. But I don't think Maresca has a say in who stays or who goes. And this has made that team unbalanced. And I've said it many times, that team is not balanced. And there's something about that team, about Chelsea, that I don't really, that is missing. And identity is the word I came up with last week. But I think it's an imbalanced squad. That's the main reason why the Chelsea is not going to compete this season, not going to deliver. Maresca has his situations, he has his moments, just like he has Sanchez moments. He's adamant. He's been adamant of playing Chris James in the midfield, playing Cole Palmer in the middle of the park. Whether he's fit or he's not fit, Cole Palmer plays and all that. That's beyond Maresca. But the squad itself is not balanced. And I want Chelsea fans to think about this and figure out what is wrong with their team. Because this Chelsea team that I'm saying, they probably might miss out in Champions League next season. And you know, the way the Champions League money is going now and the EPL, once you're out of it, it's difficult to get back, because the teams that are in it for 2-3 years consecutively have more money and will always have a chance. So the game yesterday showed again the lack of leadership in Chelsea, the lack of balance. And this time around, I'm going to put a lot of it on Enzo Maresca. And the reason is this. It happened last week. Once Sanchez got in his red card, Maresca was too much in a hurry to make changes, and he made the wrong changes. Yesterday again, he did the same thing, but Chelsea survived. Up until the 75th minute, you were still leading 1-0, away from home, one man down. What were you being expansive for? Is there a trophy for going toe-to-toe? If you are experienced enough and knowing how EPL is, what you should be doing is playing on a counter, parking the bus, and trying to see that result out. But what did Maresca do? He still tried to play like there were 11 men on the pitch. So Chelsea fans, let me know what you think. You think is more of squad imbalance, or is Maresca out of his depth? What is the problem with Chelsea? I believe that squad is not set up, is not prepared, is not assembled to succeed. That is my take. Even if you sack Maresca today, and continue to operate the way you operate behind the scene with selling of players, I don't think Chelsea will get back to where they need to be. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you again next time. Ciao.